Lieutenant Governor. The Supreme Court has sought Delhi government's response on the centre's plea today, seeking stay on the High Court ruling which termed the MHA notification on the LG's powers as suspect.
The Supreme Court has refused to stay a Delhi High Court order allowing Anti-Corruption Bureau of Delhi to take action against officials in corruption cases on Friday. However, the court clarified that observation made by the High Court on MHA notification of 21st of May was tentative in nature and it would not be binding. The court sought Delhi government's response in 3 weeks on the plea seeking stay on the High Court ruling which termed the notification as suspect.
All the unwarranted observations which were there in para 66 have been stayed by the Supreme Court of India, and the Delhi government has been given 3 weeks time to respond to this SLP, and thereafter the matters will be listed.
The High Court verdict said the centre has wrongly stated that the Lieutenant Governor is not obliged to consult Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal about the appointments of bureaucrats. In the High Court, the Aam Aadmi Party government wants the entire notification dismissed as unconstitutional.
उन्होंने कहा कि दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट इस पूरे मसले पर नए सिरे से सुनवाई करे और ये कहा है कि जो ऑब्जर्वेशन था उस ऑब्जर्वेशन से इन्फ्लुएंस में आने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप उसके बिना भी आप काम कर सकते हैं.
Meanwhile, the centre has clarified that it has no intention to rule the national capital through a back door as alleged by the Aam Aadmi Party government. Home Minister Rajnath Singh ruled out any chances of Delhi getting full statehood soon.
कौन क्या करता है ये उसके ऊपर निर्भर करता है, उसके संबंध में मैं कोई कमेंट नहीं देना चाहूंगा अपना, लेकिन लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की प्रॉब्लम यदि खड़ी होगी तो मैं समझता हूं कि उसको कंट्रोल करना ये जिम्मेदारी है ही हम लोगों की.
The Delhi High Court has also decided to hear the plea against the centre's notification on 5th of August after the Delhi government files its reply on the Supreme Court notice. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And a major blow to the Aam Aadmi Party, the Delhi High Court today passed an interim order directing Lieutenant Governor Najeeb Jung to consider proposals sent by the Kejriwal government. The court said that if the LG is not satisfied with the proposals, he can send it back to the Council of Ministers. The court has also asked the Aam Aadmi Party government to file an affidavit on how the previous Delhi governments took decisions regarding appointments and transfers of top bureaucrats. And let's go across to Smita Gupta, Associate Editor at The Hindu, to help us understand this power tussle in Delhi. With the court now intervening and a significant thing being said by the court, do you think that this power tussle could now end? Could we see some finally semblance of normal governance issues dominating rather than this power tussle that has been on between the centre and the Delhi government?
No, I think that the Aam Aadmi government will take this on, will challenge this order, and yes, it has come as a setback because if you, ever since the Aam Aadmi Party came to power, the issue of statehood has been a key issue, and this issue, of course, came to a head in recent weeks with the clash between Mr. Kejriwal and the Lieutenant Governor. And we can see from the statements coming from Mr. Rajnath Singh as well as from BJP leaders over the last few days that they have no intention one way or the other to grant that statehood. Yesterday, BJP spokesman Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi said, you know, when you come to power, then you realize that there are many other issues involved because the BJP at one time had also made a case for statehood. But given Mr. Kejriwal's track record and his proclivities, I don't think this is the last we are going to hear of it. I think he is going to battle it out. And in the public perception, because even though the law, the way the constitutional setup has been worked out, it would appear that the law is against Mr. Kejriwal. I think Mr. Kejriwal will fight it out.
All right, but the way he's fought it out has been rather unconventional, Smita. So in terms of the next move for the Aam Aadmi Party government, I mean, we've seen the last time they were in government what happened after 49 days with that big protest outside Rail Bhavan. So this time around, do you think that Aam Aadmi Party could be taking the matters to the streets? Or do you think the fact that there are court orders and there is intervention from the court of law is something that would perhaps make them simmer down just a bit and focus more on governance issue? And what happens to the issues of Delhi? What happens to governance for the common man? We seem to have lost the audio connection with Smita Gupta over there. So we've been discussing what the Aam Aadmi Party and the centre have been, in fact, indulging in a power struggle in Delhi. In fact, amid the ongoing power tussle, the Home Minister today said that the central government has no intentions of ruling the national capital through the Lieutenant Governor. Why we're talking about it right now is because the Supreme Court has sought the Delhi government's response on the centre's plea today, seeking a stay on the High Court ruling, which termed the MHA notification on the LG's powers as suspect. In fact, the Delhi High Court today passed an interim order directing Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung to consider proposals sent by the Kejriwal government. The court said that if the Lieutenant Governor is not satisfied with the proposals, he can send it back to the Council of Ministers. The court has also asked the Aam Aadmi Party government to file an affidavit on how the previous Delhi governments took decisions regarding the appointment and transfer of top bureaucrats. We'll try to establish that connection with Smita Gupta a little later, but moving on for now. In the backdrop of anti-national activities by separatists in Jammu and Kashmir, Home Minister Rajnath Singh today came out with a stern warning. He said anyone found waving the Pakistani flag in India would not be spared. However, his warning seems to have had little effect. Take a look at this report.
जो लोग भी पाकिस्तान का झंडा फहराने की कोशिश करते हैं, उनका बायकॉट किया जाना चाहिए.
Home Minister Rajnath Singh's warning to people involved in waving Pakistani flags in any part of India, including Jammu and Kashmir. Saying there could be no compromise against such activities, Rajnath Singh also warned of strict action against perpetrators.
सब कुछ से हम कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर सकते हैं, लेकिन भारत की धरती पर पाकिस्तान का झंडा यदि कोई फहराता है, तो इस मामले में हम किसी भी सूरत में कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं कर सकेंगे.
Even as the minister warned of strict action, separatist leader Shabir Shah and his supporters waved Pakistani flags in Anantnag on Friday.
No, certainly this is outrageous, this is worrisome, and we expect the state government to take strict action. And having said that, let me also add over here that the kind of competitive upmanship which is being witnessed to appease the separatists in Kashmir Valley certainly doesn't augur well for a democracy.
In his press conference on Modi government's completion of a year in power, the Home Minister also said Interpol had issued red corner notices against Dawood Ibrahim and many others. He said the process to get hold of anti-India elements living abroad was underway. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The first meeting of the Joint Committee of Parliament examining the proposed land acquisition bill was held today. The meeting was headed by BJP's S.S. Ahluwalia, who leads the 30-member panel. It includes 20 members from the Lok Sabha and 10 members from the Rajya Sabha. The panel has to submit its report on the first day of the monsoon session. Despite sailing through the Lok Sabha, the bill got stuck in the upper house, where the government is in a minority. After sustained pressure from the opposition and allies to water down the bill, the government agreed to refer it to the committee. Time for a very quick break. Lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Action on defence, a major focus of the Modi government. Activity on the borders. Big ticket purchases. Moves to strengthen the forces. How has the sector fared these last 12 months? And where is it heading? Watch the big picture at 6:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Now, aviation regulator DGCA is inquiring into the radioactive leak from a medical consignment at the cargo complex of the Indira Gandhi International Airport at New Delhi. The incident happened at a busy time for the airport at 8:30 a.m., but luckily the leak was spotted in time and contained.
8:30 a.m. A regular Friday morning at the Indira Gandhi International Airport in Delhi turned chaotic. The reason? A radioactive leak. The leak was detected in a medical consignment from Istanbul that was meant for a private hospital in the city.
Radioactive packet है, वो leakage है, और उसके लिए इन्होंने जो जरूरी कदम था उसको देखते ही उसको छुटवा दिया, वो एरिया खाली करा दिया।
कोई पैकेट फट गया है डेंजरस गुड्स, तो इसकी वजह से सबको बाहर कर दिया गया है।
कोई उसमें
कोई हादसा नहीं हुआ।
The National Disaster Response Force and anti-sabotage teams rushed to the spot to control the leak. 2 workers who handled the consignment were rushed to the nearest hospital. After a few hours of panic and chaos, government health officials announced that the leak had been contained and that there was no need to worry.
Latest information we've received that the NDRF team and the Atomic Commission people also have reached, and the contaminated leak has been stopped. It has been contained and nothing to worry about.
Delhi International Airport Limited said in a statement that there was no risk of exposure to any individual in the airport premises. Meanwhile, Rajya Airport continued to operate smoothly. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The death toll due to the sweltering heat has climbed to 1,826 today. Most of the casualties were reported from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, the worst hit states. The Met Office says severe heatwave conditions would continue for at least 2 more days.
Severe heat wave across the country has killed over 1,800 people so far, most of them from the states of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. According to the Met Office, the heat wave would continue for another 2 days at least.
There has not been even a break of records of maximum temperature at any of the places in the country. But the continuity of the heat wave, persistence of the heat wave for about a week with almost on daily basis 45, 46, 47 degree centigrade temperatures without a break may be one of the factors which has affected human health.
Most of the deaths reported have been due to dehydration and heat stroke. The severe heat coupled with frequent power failures has affected life across the country.
गर्मी तो लगती है, काम करते तो गर्मी लगती ही लगती है। या तो ऐसा अभी खड़े खड़े में लगती है गर्मी, तो वो तो काम करेगा लगते है। सरकार क्या तो खाएगा क्या, हम तो बात है ना, जब इसमें काम करेगा तो मिलेगा, नहीं जब बैठे बैठे कौन लेगा जी।
कठिनाई तो बहुत ज्यादा, पानी की, लाइट की, सब चीज की दिक्कत है यहाँ पे। तो यहाँ पे कोई सुविधा होती नहीं है।
The death toll so far this year due to heat wave is already higher than last year. However, monsoon rains are expected next week. Some of the northern states may also get some respite with thunderstorms predicted around the weekend. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
For all the other national stories, let's take you nationwide. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha will contest the June 27 by-election from the Radhakrishnan Nagar Assembly constituency. The seat was vacated by her party MLA, P. Vettravil, soon after she was acquitted in the disproportionate acts case. Jayalalitha was earlier elected from a native Sri Rangam constituency. Jayalalitha needs to be elected as an MLA within 6 months of taking charge as Chief Minister. Pradeep Kumar Sinha has been appointed as the new Cabinet Secretary. He will replace Ajit Seth, who will complete his term next month. Sinha is currently FAR Secretary. He's been holding the post since July 2013. He had earlier been Secretary in the Ministry of Shipping and had held several other important positions in the Union Government and the UP Government. The National Human Rights Commission has recommended inquiry by the CBI into the Chittoor encounter in which 20 suspected sandalwood smugglers were killed. The Commission has also recommended rupees 5 lakh compensation as interim relief for the families of those killed. The Commission had on 7th April issued a notice to the Andhra Pradesh government seeking a report of the killing and observed that the incident involved a serious violation of human rights of individuals. A group of unidentified gunmen opened fire at police personnel deployed outside a bank in J&K Shopia district today. The attack left one policeman critically injured. The army has cordoned off the entire area and launched massive search operations to nab the attackers. Some international news now. In Myanmar today refuted allegations that they're the only one to blame for the looming Asian migrant crisis. The statement comes amid both the UN and the US putting pressure on Myanmar for the crisis at a conference of the ASEAN in Bangkok. Many of the stranded migrants belong to the Rohingya community in Myanmar.
Myanmar was singled out at the ASEAN summit in Thai capital Bangkok as the Asian nations met to resolve the migrant crisis. According to UN estimates, over 1 lakh Rohingya Muslims have fled Myanmar in the past 3 years fearing persecution, escalating the crisis.
Issue of illegal migration of both people. You cannot single out my country. some issues fall within the domestic jurisdiction.
We need to go and look at the root causes of why people feel they have no alternative but to flee their own countries and take such a dangerous trip.
Demanding for a swift action, Malaysia, Indonesia and Thailand extended all cooperation. Bangladesh also outlined ways they had already sought to tackle the issue. Thailand has allowed US surveillance planes across its border to assist in the search for migrant boats drifting at the sea.
First, to address the immediate humanitarian situation of stranded migrants. Second, to combat the long-term problem of people smuggling and human trafficking to prevent further irregular movements.
Malaysia is also exploring the possibility to call for a summit meeting of leaders of the 4 countries concerned, namely Malaysia, Indonesia, Myanmar and Thailand, within the next few weeks.
Representatives from 17 countries participated in the ASEAN summit in Bangkok along with the United States, Switzerland and UN Refugee Agency. Most of these countries are affected by irregular migration in the Indian Ocean. The crisis erupted this month as Thailand began crackdown on trafficking camps along its border with Malaysia. This prompted the traffickers to abandon thousands of migrants in crowded boats at sea. The UN report suggests that nearly 2,600 migrants are still stranded out there. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now to some sports, and FIFA members are set to vote for a new president in Zurich today as the football's world governing body battles a major corruption scandal. Seeking a 5th term, the FIFA president Sepp Blatter is up against Jordan's Prince Ali bin Al Hussein. Blatter refused to step down after the scandal was unearthed. Now he faces a tough task to hold on to his position.
Despite the troubles brewing in FIFA with the recent corruption scandal, soccer's world governing body is all set to vote for a new president. The 209 members will be voting in a secret ballot to choose from Sepp Blatter or Jordanian Prince Ali bin Al Hussein. FIFA President Sepp Blatter is a favourite to be elected for a 5th term. But his defiance to step down after the scandal has irked many members, including the United States and UEFA. Blatter maintained he is not responsible for the scandal and is determined to combat corruption in the sport.
We cannot allow the reputation of football and FIFA to be dragged through the mud any longer. It has to stop here and now.
And I know what is this strategy. Strategy is to bring all the congresses.
Even the United Nations is keeping an eye on the developments. FIFA has a tie-up with the UN, which now faces an uncertain future.
We're watching what's going on in Zurich and other places very carefully. The UN has had a number of different kind of one-time partnerships with FIFA through World Cups and other events with the UN agencies, various UN agencies.
The vote comes 2 days after top FIFA officials were held in Zurich on corruption charges. For an outright win, Blatter or Ali must secure 140 votes, a 2/3 majority. If the vote goes to the second round, then it will be decided through a simple majority. The result of the vote is expected to be announced by tonight. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, that's all from us. Goodbye.